a lean body, successful, profitable business, your successful marriage, they're all built by the same machine, same concept, same driving force. And once you see it, and once you realize it, it's hard for you to go back and not see it. You can't trick yourself. Once you know the truth, once you understand how it works, it's hard for you to numb yourself or go back to sleep. That's the true definition of waking up. And when you're awake, you're awake. I want to tell you a story about Dave Brailsford. He took over the British Cycling League, or the cycling team, in 1908. And this was a team that was failing. The point is what happened after. So we understand that they were in a bad situation, bad shape, had a very bad losing streak. And he came in, and his concept was to get the team better, 1%, marginal improvements across all fronts, little by little, and it took a long time. He did things like when the cyclists, they were going on tournaments, they would bring their own pillows to make it more comfortable so they get a better night's sleep. Putting alcohol in the tires for better traction, getting better seats for the actual bicycles. Minor changes across all fronts, little by little, and over a long period of time, he turned the team around to be one of the best, and they won 176 tournaments, and they won 66 Olympic medals, and they won 5 of the Tour de France within 6 years. So, real big improvements, right? Now, the reason why I bring this up and why I want to talk to you about it is, when we look at somebody who's in good physical shape, who has a lean body, low body percentage fat, when you see somebody that it looks aesthetically fit, my point is that every single person who gets to that physical state is not by one decision, it's not by one season, it's over a long period of time, and it's a bunch of small decisions they have made, and there's a bunch of no's they have said to, a bunch of desserts they've said to no, a bunch of dinners they've said to no, there's a bunch of lazy sleep-in Saturday, Sundays that they said no to, and instead they chose to get up and go to the gym, exercise, and maintain their daily habits, right? Over a long period of time, these little decisions and these little wins, they compound over to become exactly what you see at the final product. If we can apply that same concept to everything else in life. If somebody is able to control what they put in their mouth, and if somebody is able to control, the urge to relax and the urge to kind of just give in all the time and choose comfort, they can apply that same mentality to their relationships with their spouses, with their kids. How so? I'll give you an example. Every day in the morning, I make a cup of coffee with the espresso machine, and my wife wakes up after me. It could be very convenient for me just to make my cup of coffee while it's hot, sit down, drink it, and enjoy it, and not think about cleaning up the little espresso machine where you put the espresso coffee in, an actual can where you froth the milk. But I have chosen to think about her, right? Every time I think to make a cup of coffee, at that moment when I want to sit down and relax and drink my cup of coffee, before I drink my cup of coffee, I go clean it, wash it, put it away, because I think about her, right? And I choose me being a good husband in my eyes by doing that act over sitting down and relaxing and enjoying the coffee in the moment. Those tiny little details, she sees it, she pays attention, she reciprocates that energy, right? She gives me that energy back with more love, with the dinner she makes, the smile in the morning, whatever it may be. And it kind of just fuels this gratitude and this love back and forth. And that's how bonds get stronger. And that's how relationships get ironclad. And they survive and they last and they flourish over 30, 40, 50 years. I'll end with this, with a story that I read in Morgan Housel's book, Psychology of Money. He talks about it and he says how the world has frozen over, I think 4 or 5 times in I don't know how many billions of years. The concept was this, it's very simple, that every single year, summer times would be a little bit cooler and the winters would be a little bit colder, and they would go hand in hand. When the summer times would be a little bit colder, less ice would melt, so more ice would stay in the winter, causing more colder atmosphere, and before you know it, 10%, 20%, 40%, 60%, the whole world is frozen. And then the inverse, same thing. Summers get a little bit hotter, they burn more water, they burn more ice, and then so on and so forth. in exact reverse order. So these little events over hundreds of millions of years, we're able to freeze the whole world and unfreeze it from what we can measure about 4 or 5 times, from what I remember. Anyway, Morgan Hassel's book is also a really good book, Psychology of Money. If you haven't read it, I recommend you to go read it. It's not just about money, it's about life, and it's about understanding that there's different viewpoints, different philosophies behind spending and saving and living life and the future. All these concepts are all connected, they're all linked. So make tiny, good decisions every single day. Be aware and be conscious, and if you slip up, remember you have another moment that is just born. You're gonna have another moment right now, which is born again. Every single second, and these tiny micro decisions are what is gonna compound over time to be the major, strong driving force factor for you to becoming who you want to be. So that's about it. I'll leave you with that. Self-love, self-tune, self-respect.